Mr. G. Before we get started, I want to give you, first of all, the terms that you're going to be hearing again and again and again over the next few lessons. And I'm also going to clue you in on the resources that I'm using to pull from as we begin our next series. First of all, let me just start with the books I'm using. First one is called Counterpoint by Kent Kennan. See if I can turn that here to the light, makes it more better. There we go. Kent Kennan, Counterpoint by Kent Kennan. I'm holding the 4th edition. Great book. Next book that I'm using is A Practical Approach to 16th Century Counterpoint by Robert Golden. Fantastic information in here. Now, we're not going to be getting past the first couple chapters of either of these two books for the longest period of time. But these are the books I'm pulling my information from. Probably one of the most valuable resources I've had is this guy right here. Let's move it over here. It's called Counterpoint. There we are. Counterpoint in Composition by Salzer and Schachter. Fantastic. Look how thick that guy is. You notice that all 3 of those books have to do with this thing called counterpoint. Before you get all wigged out, know that counterpoint is interwoven into every piece of music you listen to today. Rhythmic counterpoint, melodic counterpoint. It's not that weird a thing. If you decide to pursue music in college, you will get into the deep weeds of counterpoint. I will not be teaching strict counterpoint. I will not be taking you through all the rules and regulations of counterpoint, as fascinating as they are, and they are fascinating. I'm a big music nerd. I love this stuff, and I read on it. It's what I read for relaxation. But I'm going to be pulling principles from there because, honestly, counterpoint was at the very beginning. It's like the headwaters of the Mississippi are to the Mississippi. At the headwaters, you have this small little stream that eventually explodes into one of the mightiest rivers in the whole world. Well, music in the medieval and early Renaissance started with this counterpoint, and it exploded into all the music we have today. And counterpoint that was taught back then in the 16th century is still being taught in colleges today. So when you get to college and study it, you'll get into the deep weeds. We will not be getting into the deep weeds. I am going to be utilizing just a few principles because my goal is not to turn you into a music theory nerd. That'll be on you if you want to. My goal is to get you writing music. What I'm going to be teaching you here, I have taught to 4th graders, and they've written music. Now, granted, it wasn't Beethoven's 5th Symphony, but it was good music, and it sounded pretty, and you should see their faces line up. So, stand by. Those are the books we're using. Now, here's some terms you have to keep in mind. We are going to be learning terms such as cantus firma, fixed melody. We're going to be learning terms like tonic and dominant. In the old days, called finalis and cofinalis. We're going to be learning what stepping is and what skipping is. We are going to be learning what a flat does and what a sharp does. And we're going to be using, in the beginning, only whole notes. So it's not going to be difficult. I'm going to be using a music writing program called MuseScore, MuseScore. Those of you who are fortunate enough to have Finale and were able to fork out the bucks for it, groovy. It's a fantastic program. Use it. MuseScore is free, and there it is. There's the address for it, www.musescore.org. Download your version for Mac or PC, whichever platform you're using. And it's very simple to use. There's lots of video on the in YouTube telling you how to use it. It'll be groovy. Now, we are going to be studying over the next few lessons how to write a melody. That's where it starts. What part of a song that you love do you remember? Rarely is it just the lyrics. Rarely is it the groove. No, there are some. Almost always, it's the melody that you hum. A good melody is a heart and soul of every great piece of music. When you think of Beethoven's music and you hear dun 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 dun, dun 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 dun, it just brings back that whole piece of music. That's it. Like, or how about ba da 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 da, or almost any great song you recognize, it's the melody you remember. So we're going to be talking about making a melody. And counterpoint, really, believe it or not, the rules we're going to be using of counterpoint can be redefined as saying the elegance of getting from one note to the next. We're going to learn how to do that. We're going to learn how to approach the dominant, how to approach the tonic. And it's really not that difficult. And then once we get a few melodies written, and we're going to write melodies in a minor mode and in a major mode. Think sad, happy. Then we're going to take those whole notes, and I'm going to show you how to turn them into a singable melody that you might find in a pop tune. Anyway, that's what we're going to be doing. Those are the terms. These are the books. Stand by. Mr. G out. Bye-bye.